and everything at that. So we will be, if that company does not make the county whole, we will be pursuing collection against that company to do it the best we can to try and make the county whole. But we were able to have the event. The concert was great. The fair was awesome. So that's why we have it as ratification for those contracts. They were signed last week, and that's why it's coming in as claims against
Me and
the
Mel
county.
had this exact discussion. Which one do we do first?
Yeah, so I actually would just say if you have a dual motion, we can approve the ratification and approve it as a claim, and then it takes care of both items.
You got all that?
Yeah. You want me to do that now?
Yes, everyone.
Okay, so I will make the motion to approve the claims for EC Touring for $30,000 and Sterling Sound for $14,000, along with ratifying the contracts with EC Touring Inc. and Sterling Sound Inc. I mean Sterling Sound.
I'll second that. We have a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Passes?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Just for the public's knowledge, in talking with the staff of Easton, they have not been to a better place than the way they were treated in this community. They said anytime we need them, call, and they'll get right back here. They really liked us. So kudos to the staff over at Western Park who worked about, 55, 60 hours over to make it pull off. And Steve Evans for helping along. He was a big, big help. Okay.
That's what we do, though. We pull together and we make it work.
All right. Review. Oh, I already did that. Tax matters.
None?
None? Great.
Oh.
Oh, we have one. Never mind.
You were kind of hiding back there.
I know it. Danette Brooks, Uintah County Assessor's Office. I have two refunds today. The Uintah County Assessor is requesting a refund of county assessed fees for Kimberly McDaniel at 9 Ashley Park Estates Drive, Vernal, Utah, Tax District Number 4 in the amount of $80. Reason for refund: renewal on the vehicle was done for a vehicle that she did not own. State has processed their portion of the refund. And then also, the Uintah County Assessor's Office is requesting a refund of county assessed fee for Samuel Simper, located at 3234 West, 1750 North, Vernal, Utah, Tax District Number 3 in the amount of $30. Renewal on the vehicle was done for a vehicle that he does not own, and state has processed their portion of the refunds. That's it.
Okay. Do I
I
have a
need to,
mo-
yeah, I would make a motion that we approve these tax matters as presented.
I'll second. Vote?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
We will now recess for the Board of Equalization. Mr. Wilkins?
Commissioners, I have the agreement that John has looked over now. This is with Jeremy Manning to provide Board of Equalization as the hearing officer. I went into detail more yesterday, so this time I present it to you for approval. It is $50 an hour, up to 50 hours to hold the hearings, and they will all be virtual.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Did you say up to 50?
50 hours. I don't anticipate him taking more than that,
Okay.
but we just kind of put it that we'll go up to that amount. If it's more than that, then we'll deal with it, but at this point, I don't see it being that.
Okay.
And then also, with approval to sign this agreement as the clerk of the BOE, when you make that.
Okay.
It's all yours.
I would make a motion to approve the contract with Mr. Manning as presented, and the authorization for the secretary, which is Mike, to
Yes.
sign that agreement.
The clerk of the BOE.
Clerk.
Right.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll now adjourn the B&E and reconvene the normal commission meeting. Which brings up the rural community grant. Mr. Campbell?
Forgot to work a laptop. I don't have a lot of slides, but if you would like to see them. Travis Campbell, Uintah County Economic Development. So, Commissioners, I wanted to present to you today the 2024 Rural County Grant. So this $200,000 grant, this is state funding offered through the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity to create different programs to support economic development efforts. These funds and the program itself has changed a bit over recent years from a series of very specific different types of funding sources, consolidated into one grant we now know as the Rural County Grant, to provide flexible resource for rural counties to address their unique economic development needs. So this can be very broad, and it can vary when we talk economic development depending on who you're talking to and what we're trying to accomplish. But I think this list I'm going to present to you shows a very wide breadth of efforts that we're trying to make here in Uintah County. So I'm just going to get right into, so going back to 2023, this is just a quick list of the programs we administered with the same grant funding. I won't go into a lot of details, but I want to mention this because some of these were continuing this year, and we found success in some of these programs, and we wanted to continue them because they have been successful. So the first for 2024 that I want to mention, this is a continuation from last year when we created a general contractor pre-licensing course through the Innovation Hub. So between Uintah County, the Innovation Hub, and the Associated Builders and Contractors of Utah, we came together, created a partnership to offer a state-required pre-licensure course for those who are getting their general contractor's license. So if you want to get that, you have steps you have to take with the state. One of those is taking this 35-hour course. The problem with that being in rural Utah is it's only offered on the Wasatch Front by a small handful of organizations. So we teamed up with one of them to offer this course virtually. So that's what we're doing through the Innovation Hub. The funding, I'll have a breakdown in a second of this, but the funding from the grant goes to fund the hourly wage of a proctor to sit in on that course, as well as to offer a discount to Uintah County residents who take the course. This is something new. We wanted to incentivize it. We wanted to get the word out that you can get a discount by taking this course here. So that's where that funding is going here. Also, the computer coding scholarship program, we started this 2 years ago. So this is another program offered through the Innovation Hub. This has helped nearly 30 individuals so far, which isn't a huge number, but this is a great way to diversify the economy and really do so in a way that's keeping up with the times in the tech industry. So this partnership is through Uintah County, the Innovation Hub, and a company out of Utah County called Dev Pipeline. So this program not only provides the training, this isn't just a short couple-week boot camp on computer coding. This is you get your education, you get your training, and then they actually put you to work as a coder, working on projects really around the region, but also for local companies here in the basin. So great way again to diversify the economy, to grow jobs in the tech industry, which whether you like it or not, that's just the way the world's going. Another program that will continue this year with this funding is the annual pitch competition. And this community event, it's been well received. This 2023 was the third year of this event. We get great turnout, and not only does this event provide seed money for entrepreneurs and business startups, but it helps those businesses who are new and trying to figure things out through some mentorship with our panel of judges to really focus and hone in on their business model and what their business is. So again, great success not only with the public, those who attend, but the businesses and those who have participated. Another thing we funded last year that we'll continue to fund just in a little bit different way this year was a partnership with the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, specifically with the Business Development Committee. So this committee provides quarterly trainings and events for local businesses to teach best practices and new techniques and just good trainings for a variety of different business-related topics. So borrowing from, with the 2024 grant, borrowing from what's been done in other counties and based on some feedback we received this past year during those events, is a need for customer service training. So what we're going to do is use some of this funding to incentivize participation from residents of Uintah County. So rather than ask them to come take this training and pay a registration fee, we're going to incentivize them by paying them. What we're looking at right now is $50 to come take this training, which will be about 2 to 3 hours. And again, just best practices on how to approach a customer, how to meet them where they're at, to really understand where they're coming from and provide that good customer service. And this will be open to the general public. Anybody can come to this training. And this, again, will be done in coordination with the Business Development Committee, their business symposium every year that they put on. Next is the Small Town Comeback. And this is a new project that, well, it's new to the rural county grant. We haven't funded this project with grant money before, but it's something that has been funded through the county and through Vernal City. So this is a series of videos and social media posts and really an overall tool for marketing and promoting economic development efforts in Uintah County. So far it's been 2 years in the making, and what's been happening is a film crew following local businesses that have started their new business projects like the Vernal Downtown Revitalization and documenting what's been happening, what work's been done with some of those businesses and those projects, and not only to help those outside the basin know what's happening here and how we're growing, but really to remind residents about all the efforts, and there's a lot of them going on in town, and really how we're growing and how we're adapting. So what we're thinking about doing here is using this grant funding to help really establish the website and the online presence through social media and social media advertising to really market and promote these videos and really in essence promote Uintah County and the work we're doing, again, not only outside the basin but here locally. And we'll also use it to start the next phase of projects, focusing on more on downtown revitalization, on Buckskin Hills, on Red Fleet, on some tourism efforts. So it's just a great marketing tool that we'll use some of this funding for. Next is a economic development strategy document. This is something I've wanted to do since I've taken this role, have something in place, some kind of guiding strategy to what we're doing as a county and what our economic development efforts are. So what we would use this funding for is to utilize a consultant for some technical assistance and really do some basic information gathering, make sure our data is up to date, look at our land use, focus on really where we want to be as a community in the next 10, 15, 20 years, and what steps we can take to get there. So what state incentives are out there, what county incentives could be, and really have that guiding document as part of our county general plan. Next, another new, sorry, a lot of items here.
Good.
So I'm trying to go faster. Clerk-Auditor, I know he's just saying like, hurry up.
He was shooting for 20 minutes.
I know, I'm sorry. Okay, so next up is what we're just calling the Ag Expo. So this came about from conversations with the County Farm Bureau and their efforts to want to do something in the county to really highlight agriculture in Uintah County and what they do, what they provide, why we all need them. So that event, it's going to be a bigger event than what we'll fund with this this funding, but where our funding would come in is to help with any kind of speaker fees or trainings that would be very focused on things that will grow the ag industry in Uintah County. So things like regenerative farming, soil improvements. I really like the idea of some transition planning or estate planning to make sure that those family farms stay in the family, and that those plans are in place for those farmers, and really anything that we can help get younger farmers, get more young people interested in farming and ag, and what that can do for not only Uintah County but the rest of the state. And then lastly, kind of bookends all of these items, is a small business micro grant program. So, so the idea here is, it kind of stemmed from a program we used some of this funding for a few years back, which was the downtown facade grant with Vernal City, and that was just focused on exterior improvements with downtown businesses. So I got a lot of feedback that it's great, but it wasn't enough for what some businesses were hoping for. And so what this would do is we'll take the remainder of this funding, and we'll be able to utilize any leftovers, because that's one of the challenges when you apply for grants in this way, is you have a good idea with some programs what the dollar amount's going to be. Others, it's a very much a guess. So what we're looking at with the Ag Expo, the strategy document, the small town comeback, the pre-licensure course, and the pitch or the computer coding program, we can guess on what the dollar amount is going to be, but we don't know exactly until we've had the event or until we've gone through the calendar year. So we'll use this micro grant program to really bookend that and funnel any of those remaining dollars into local businesses. So this isn't just a free-for-all. You can't just come ask for money. We'll have a very clear and concise, but a very stringent application to get this funding. And what the idea here would be something that's very flexible for small businesses that can really apply to a wide variety of businesses, but small micro grants, so somewhere between $500 and $5,000, which would have a 50-50 match requirement, so that there's buy-in from the business, and something that's going to go to any kind of improvements or growth in their business. So something like a capital improvement, new equipment upgrades, anything that will really lead to growth or expansion. So this would not be for just normal operating costs for payroll, for keeping the lights on. This would be for something that will really add to the business and help grow the business. And we'll utilize our county advisory board, our economic advisory board, to help oversee this application process and make sure that the money is being put to good use and is being well spent. Okay, that's the list. All that being said, I do want to mention what you'll see here is really an effort for partnerships. As the county, we can't just on our own create prosperity, but I think we can be helpful and we can play a role. And I think you can see that with this list here. We can't do much of this on our own, so we will rely on a lot of partnerships and a lot of community members and support to make all of these successful. So I think that's important to note, and I think it's a good component of all of these projects. So just quickly, it's kind of hard to see, but a very basic breakdown of some of where the funding is going to go. I do want to mention on here the top two items: the contractor pre-licensure course. We had allocated, again, going back to the idea of not really knowing how much some of these programs are going to cost. Last year we allocated $25,000 to that program, and it really, for the benefit it provides, it doesn't come at very high of a cost at all. So we have funding left over from last year that, in talking with the governor's office, we can encumber that and keep that program going. So we'll only have to apply a small amount, $2,500 for the 2024 grant, and we'll combine that with the 21,612 that's left over from this year. Same with the computer coding program. We had $25,000 left over, and we'll be able to just encumber that and combine it with a little bit additional funding from this year. So that's what those two numbers on the side are. You'll see here that with the general contractor course, we pay our proctor $20 an hour, roughly 30 to 35 hours per month. This is a weekly course, so it's only offered 1 week per month. And then we offer that $100 discount to those participants. In addition, I threw in here too that the Associated Builders and Contractors of Utah, the organization that offers the course and actually teaches the course, they're offering a discount to not completely match our discount, but to offer an additional incentive for Uintah County residents. The computer coding scholarship, that funding specifically will go $5,000 per student. So that scholarship will significantly help with the overall. The overall cost is $24,000 for that program. So that $5,000 helps cover some of that cost and really again grow that industry. The pitch competition, we are going to allocate $40,000 to, $12,000 for first prize, $7,000 for second, and $4,000 for third. This is kind of in line with what we've done in the past. It seems to be what really helps these businesses. And then you'll see some of the just associated costs with refreshments and reimbursement for judges' travel, AV needs, production, which those prices, and they do add up over time. So there's those costs that we're anticipating. The Business Development Committee, again, because of the nature of that program, will offer $50 incentive to those who are participating, and that can get us around 125 individuals for this first year. And again, just some associated cost, speaker fees, and some advertising that will be associated with that, which will all be covered under this grant. The Small Town Comeback, this one's tough because this will be all based on marketing costs, mostly on social media and online, and then some of the costs to develop some new video material. So we're suggesting $30,000 for that project, and again, just to cover some of the new video costs and make sure that the marketing is covered and that we can actually advertise these things outside of the basin and really across the state and regionally. The economic development strategy, this number came from just quotes from calling different consultants and getting feedback from other counties and cities who have done similar documents in their areas, and roughly that's the cost to put something like this together and really make sure that you're doing your SWOT analysis and you're really engaging with the public and having a good holistic view of what your needs are as a community. So that's why the $15,000 number's there. The Ag Expo, again, this is something new. We haven't done this before. Farm Bureau hasn't done this before. So we're allocating a good chunk of money to help with those costs. It's to be seen what the overall totals will be, but again, whatever is left over that isn't needed for that kind of an event, we can funnel into our micro grants for small businesses. And that's where we get this $57,500 for that micro grant fund is the remainder of these other programs and really what we can start offering to local businesses. So just a quick breakdown of some of the costs. We can have, I can provide more details if needed, but with that, I think I've taken plenty of time. That is the 2024 Rural County Grant. The general idea with the programs that we came up with as a county advisory board, and I don't know if I've mentioned that, but this whole process starts with our community advisory board, and this board I think we've got roughly 20 individuals that are part of that mailing list, and these are some county representatives, municipal representatives from around the county, small business owners, industry experts, education, healthcare, and then just some general public, members from the general public. So it is a very wide variety of points of view and perspectives, and we had a series of meetings through the summer and talked a lot about different needs and where this funding could go, and this is the list that we came up with. We spent a lot of time on this, and I think it's a good list. I'm pretty confident with the response we should get from the governor's office, not only because some of these things are continuations from what we know have been successful and what they've supported in the past, but the new items we've had those conversations with the governor's office. We've talked these things through and know that they'll be supportive. So confident in our application, confident in the success. So with that, any questions, any
No,
thoughts?
the only thing I was going to say is, since Steve is here, it would be very helpful if we can get those opportunities out through media in different ways for the public, because I know it's hard to hit everybody everywhere, but these are great opportunities for people in our community.
Yeah.
So-
And that's why we do put some funding aside for advertising, and whether it be radio, and we've done radio advertising, but we'll continue that and with some of these programs, and then online as well. So.
Great,
Okay,
great job.
do we have a
Thanks.
motion?
I would make a motion that we approve the rural county grant, and I guess the way it is to be distributed or to be used.
I'll second.
Okay,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we have an introduction. We have a new team member for Uintah County. Kaylin? She's already turning bright red.
Hi. So I'm Kylan, the director of the Children's Justice Center, and we have a new hire with us, Taylor Hammock. She will be our administrative clerk. She's been with us for a little over a week, and she's catching on fast and has been a great asset so far, and we're happy to have her aboard and help us with all the things that we're doing over there.
Perfect,
thank you.
thank you. And I
Welcome
am
aboard.
so grateful to you for remembering to come and introduce her. Yes, all you others, please do the same. When you have new employees, we would love to meet them. Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Okay, it's time for public comment. It's not a public debate. We will listen to the comments made and take them into consideration. The county will not be responding to comments or answering questions. Comments made might not be something the county has the power to act on. This is a recorded public meeting. If someone would like to make a comment, they will need to wait until the microphone is available and state their name for the record. Please be respectful, no interrupting, and please wait your turn. A total of 12 minutes will be allotted for public comment. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to make their comment.
Melanie, Silcox, Western Park. I just want to take a second and say thank you to you four that sit up there, Mike Wilkins, Wendy Long, of course my staff at Western Park, Steve Evans. Without you guys, all of the hiccups that hit in the road would not have been possible. So I wanted to say thank you on that. I think we had a very successful fair. Everything that I have heard has been very positive. So I think with all of that, everything that took place, everybody pulled together and made that happen. So I know John Larson was in the wrong place at the right time and ended up doing security for us for a minute. Numerous texts from him and John Stearmer making sure everything was fine. Same with Mike Wilkins. Wendy and Margie brought stuff to us that we didn't have to come down and get it. So everything, all of those things might be little to you guys, but huge helpfulness to us. So
Well, thank you.
Yes,
And kudos go
Lot
to
of
you and
hard
your
work.
staff.
on your part and your staff, so.
Hi, guys.
Got my start button ready.
I'm Autumn Hancock. Don't worry, I'm not here to talk about drag queens today. But I am here to talk about queens. So I wrote my thoughts down so I don't ramble. When I heard the news that they're going to be taking down the Miss Uintah County Queens photos in the Western Park, it hit me hard. Not only is the Wall of Queens a legacy of 30 years of women who have served Uintah County, but it's also a much-loved tradition. Young girls walk down that hall and look up to those queens and aspire to serve, the community the way they did. I've been told that they'll be replacing the photos with a plaque naming the former queens, which I appreciate that. But girls don't look at a plaque and aspire and set goals to be like those women on the plaque. They don't see it. They look at the photos, they see a crown, they wonder what it took to get that crown and earn a spot on that wall and serve the community. I understand that they don't think those photos fit the branding of the new Western Park. But in my opinion, they're getting rid of the history and the nostalgia that makes the Western Park unique. Since I got this news, I've heard from so many people that have expressed how much they enjoy walking down the hall and looking at the history of the queens of our county. And I just think it's a sad day when history is forgotten because it doesn't fit a brand. So I'm here today to ask you guys to rethink taking them down. And if that's set in stone and there's no other options there, to find a new home for them here in Uintah County somewhere, in another county building or a library or, sorry, I'm emotional because I'm one of those queens that served this county, and I just feel like it's so sad to see that legacy torn down. So thank you.
Thanks, Amber.
Commissioners, Wendy Long, Uintah County Treasurer. I just have a few items that have come across my desk recently that I wanted to make the public aware and make you aware of. Something that I thought should be shared with the public and get the word out. I've received a couple of taxpayers that have sent me letters, copies of letters that they have received in the mail that appears to be coming from Uintah County. Anytime it says Uintah County tax on a letterhead, they immediately refer to my office. And these letters appear to be fraudulent. They are not coming from my office. There is one that says Tax Lien Unit 2, Tax Processing Unit, Uintah County Public Judgment Records. I called the number on that letter actually and was hung up on once. The first time I called, they hung up on me. And then the second time I called, I got a little smarter and played it out a little bit longer before I let them know that I was with Uintah County. And then I got yelled at and told that I was wasting their time and so on and so forth. So there's also another letter that went out. It has you, again, where it has Uintah County on the letterhead on the top is what concerns me. Uintah County 2023 Tax Survey Emergency Reply, which right there, you know, unsuspecting taxpayers, oh no, this is an emergency, I've got to fill this out. It has nothing to do with property tax. It's regarding federal income tax, and they want you to send a donation. So these two letters, and I know that there have been others that have circulated throughout our community in the past, are not coming from the Uintah County Treasurer's Office. While we do send out reminder notices throughout the year regarding delinquent property taxes, these particular letters are not coming from the Uintah County Treasurer's Office, and I just wanted to make the public aware of that. Anytime you have a question regarding your property taxes, please call the Treasurer's Office and we can assist you with that, whether it's taxes that you owe, taxes that are delinquent, the taxes that are coming up fairly quickly now. So call our office and we can assist you in any way. The other item that was that came to me, here, this is a copy of a $100 bill. It was not circulated throughout to the county. However, it was found by someone in the county. It looks like a legitimate $100 bill. But if you read closely on it, where typically on a $100 bill it says the United States of America, this one says for motion picture purposes only, not legal tender. So they are circulating around. I have talked to our people in our jail. They have also seen these on $50 bills. When I brought this up in our work session yesterday morning, it was this morning in our department head meeting. We looked it up on eBay, and you can buy 100 of these for $9.99. So the paper does feel different. It is not, but if you don't have another $100 bill there or another bill to compare it with, you may pass that off as legal tender. And I just wanted to make the public aware. I'm glad that the media is here. We may work out maybe a public service announcement or something just to get the word out to our citizens. If they ever have any question, to contact the treasurer's office, and also to inspect your currency for anything that might look suspicious. And on a personal note, I would like to give a shout out also to Western Park and to Mel and Brittany and the wonderful job that all of them and their staff did at the fair. Myself and my family attended a lot of the activities that went on with the fair, and I just thought they were stellar. They're rock stars in my opinion, and my heroes, and a shout out goes to them that I think they did a wonderful job under some a little extenuating circumstances at times, and I think they just held it together very well, and I wanted to let them know that. So thank you.
Great, J.C.
My name's J.C. Brewer, and I am not a speaker. I am not a public speaker. I stutter and I stammer and I make lots of mistakes, so please bear with me. What I'm here about is something that has come up or come to my attention recently that has just infuriated me. The practice, or I shouldn't call it a practice because it's just come up recently, but what has come to my attention is the Communist Chinese Party is buying the United States soil. They are buying our land to the tune, the last I checked, of over 480,000 acres. Most of it in California, around our military bases, our airports, whatnot. Now, I'm a veteran, and when somebody sells something as precious as our own soil to my enemy, that's not greed, that's not corruption. Folks, that's treason. Remember that word, that's treason. Now, I've taken on this little campaign, if you want, if that's what you want to call it, small war, if that's what you want to call it, but I'm not going to lay down and roll over for this. I'm not going to accept it. This is absolutely unacceptable. This is treason. So what's happening now is I'm just putting together a game plan, because I'm going to fight this till the day I die. And I'm just putting together a game plan right now, how to approach it, who my allies are, who my enemies are, where I can gather information, and so forth. So right now what I'm doing today is I wanted just to bring up a little bit of, start out with awareness. Anybody in this room who isn't aware that Communist China is buying this country acre by acre, it's got your head in the sand. You need to start waking up, listen to the newspaper reports, talk to these people in the press, the radios, talk to the people who are paying attention to this thing, and more specifically than that, talk to the people who are making our laws. Because one of the first things that I'm going to try to get done is get ordinances and laws passed, city, county, state, and federally, to prohibit the sale of this country's precious assets, our soil, our water, our minerals, and so forth. Sale of anything that tangible, that important to our nation, sale by an American to Communist China is absolutely unacceptable. It's treason, and it's got to stop. Now, I'm looking for, most of you people in this room, I don't even recognize your faces. Some I do. I need help. I need lots of help. I need legal help. John, your office, I need to talk to you. Radio, I need to talk to you. All of you folks who have any position of authority or any influence in this county on our elected officials, city officials, state officials, people running for office. I need information. I need to talk to you. I'm a motor mouth. I'll talk to anybody all day. But this subject has got me on fire, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. So you'll be hearing from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Anyone else? Not seeing any further. Motion to adjourn,
I motion that we adjourn.
and I'll second. Thank y'all.
Okay, I don't have other copies of these. I don't know that you need it because I explained it in here. It sets it up. Thank you, that's good to hear. I'm just saying, this did not come from Uintah County Treasurer's Office. Yeah, if you look at my file. I don't. Watch the changes. Just to protect myself. And also, this one is really helping us. It's a survey and then they want your money. Now, whether that's